Hello there. Here's a question. Are Americans allowed to criticize or disrespect their president or vice president? Ordinarily, I would say yes. This is because, unlike in so many countries in the world, in America, we've got something that's called the freedom of speech and expression. This is Rebekah Koffler with Censored But Not Silenced. I'm a former DIA intelligence officer, and on this channel, I deliver to you intelligence analysis and unique commentary that you will not hear from the Washington establishment experts. The Daily Wire ran a story the other day that the Office of Naval Intelligence, the ONI, informed their former employees, intelligence officers, and retired military personnel that they were not allowed or they were not advised to criticize senior government officials. Let's check this out. Here's the Daily Wire story. Active duty, retired naval intelligence members told they cannot disrespect Biden over Afghanistan debacle. So ONI did this even amidst the Afghanistan collapse. They found the time to send out this email. What did it say? Given the heightened political and social atmosphere surrounding Afghanistan, it is important to remind our uniformed personnel and military retirees of their responsibilities and obligations under Military Justice and Department of Defense Directive 134410 and the Article 88 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, that is. While it is vital to protect the constitutional right of freedom of expression for these groups, consistent with mission accomplishment, national security, and good order and discipline, it's important to remember certain limitations. Let's see what those limitations are. Namely, uniformed personnel and military retirees are prohibited from disrespecting senior government leadership. For example, the president, vice president, Congress, Secretary of Defense, service secretaries, etc. Wow, quite a development, huh? Well, it's very hypocritical because if you remember, when former President Trump was in the Oval Office, scores and scores of very senior intelligence officials like James Clapper, the former DNI, John Brennan, the former CIA director, and James Comey, the former FBI director, went on national TV accusing former president of being a Russian agent. The sitting commander-in-chief, they accused him basically of treason. They also made it sound legitimate because they were serving senior officials at the time in the United States government, and they were having access to top secret information. This is outrageous. You know what that reminds me of? This is what I call the Soviet playbook. As many of you know, I was born and raised in the former Soviet Union, behind the Iron Curtain, where freedom of speech didn't exist. Yes, the totalitarian socialist state, that was the USSR. So we had a joke. This dates back to 1980s or so. Here it goes. A Russian and an American meet, and an American informs the Russian that there's freedom of speech in America. And the Russian goes, what's that? So the American describes, he says, I can go right now next to the White House and I can scream at the top of my lungs saying, Ronald Reagan is an idiot. Ronald Reagan was the US president at the time. So the Russian scratches his head and says, wow, we've got freedom of speech too in the Soviet Union. The American goes, how's that? Well, the Russian says, I can go right now to the Red Square and I can scream at the top of my lungs, Ronald Reagan is an idiot. And I can even publish it in the Pravda newspaper. So this is the irony. 30 years after I fled the totalitarian USSR, I'm having flashbacks because the Soviet playbook is unfolding right now in America. And my dear fellow Americans, we must fight it with all we have, because this story does not end well. So if you like this channel, please subscribe and come back. Check me out on my website, RebekahKoffler.com. Also, visit my other website, WhiteHouseDossier.com, and subscribe to my daily newsletter, Cut to the News. This is Rebekah Koffler with Censored But Not Silenced. So long.